Oh my God, guys. Yet again, PGMOL absolutely screw us over. Like, how is that a draw tonight? I do not know. We see Ahmed at one end, absolutely flattened by a tug back and his heel clipped. Breakaway, goals given, no penalty. Harry Maguire barely touches the guy and he gets a red and he's off. Absolute shit show yet again from PGMOL. I give up with the rules. If there's jobs going at IFAB, PGMOL, please send me them because I need to go work for them to explain what is a foul in the modern day football. Tonight, oh God, you must all be kicking yourselves like me. Hairs all over the place. My hands are just constantly being through it. This is mental. How have we gone from controlling that game to getting out of there with a draw? Harry Maguire now suspended for the next game. He's got to wait 24 days for that to actually to happen. So no Maguire at the back for Leeds. Oh, like only what 12 hours after finding out De Ligt's not probably going to play for the rest of this season, and still no Martinez. This is not what we needed, guys. On the start of the big running of the 8 games we had left, that's 1 down, 7 to go. Please get in the comments. Have your say. Do you generally think that's a red card? Do you generally think that was even a penalty? And if it was, then surely Ahmad's was a stonewall penalty as well. Come, have your say, guys. But this is the rating show. We'll break it down properly tomorrow when I've calmed down a bit and put something in my hair so I don't look like a complete bloody fluff ball. But come on, this is not the kind of night we needed. But we'll get into the player ratings. We'll try and keep it as honest as we can. It was a very, I would say, entertaining game with lots to talk about. So plenty to break down tomorrow night at 9. But right now, player ratings. We'll start with Lemons in goal. Like, did his job, made some really good saves. Not quite sure how he kept that curler out from Scott with the back of his head / shoulder. But he has conceded 2. One was a penalty, nothing he could do about that. And obviously the winner was an absolute joke as well. He's thrown himself and he couldn't have got it anymore in the bottom corner. So I'm going to go with a 6 for Lemons today. Like I say, he made a few good saves. At that point, I probably had him at a 7 with a clean sheet. And then the second half just unfolds how it did, with probably one of the worst refereeing performances I've had this season. Dallo at right back. Please get Mazraoui fit and get him on the pitch. The return of the long throw came tonight. I know Bournemouth's a short, tight pitch, but he barely gets it to the 6-yard box, for God's sake, with any pace on it. So I don't want that. Didn't really offer that much going forward. There was a few overlaps he got past, but his crossing is like he's playing with a beach ball. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Lenny Yoro, I thought had a good game. I thought made plenty of good interceptions. Stay calm on the ball. There's a bit of a dodgy moment at the end of the second half when we were under pressure with a dodgy back pass, but Lemons got rid of it, so we have to let him off. But yeah, Yoro's sort of settling back into the team. Well, I would say playing along Harry, but we know what I've just said 30 seconds ago. That ain't going to be there for the next game. So Lenny Yoro, probably, I'd give him a 7. I thought our defence was actually quite solid. And then old Slabhead himself, he got turned. He'd done nothing wrong all game. I thought he'd actually been quite solid. He got turned by Evan Nilsson. Barely touched him on the chest. It was just one of them. Brush across his hand across his chest and he went down. But we live in the age now where players are going to do that. And they all have to be aware of that, don't they? But it does seem that whenever it's against Man United, it's given. And whenever it's on one of our players, it's a dive. So because of the red, although I'm thinking it probably should have been a yellow because Luke Shaw was right there. So I'm not sure why, but it was denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Thank God. So it's only a 1-game ban. I'll give Harry a 6. You got to knock one off for the red, didn't you? Then old Luke Shaw. I thought Luke Shaw had a really good game. I thought Luke Shaw and Cunha starting to link up quite nicely down the left. Um, Not as many overlaps as I would have liked, but I've said before, maybe that's a clear instructions. You'll have to come watch some of the preview games where I break that down. But Luke Shaw, I would have given a 7 out of 10 today. I didn't really think he done anything wrong. Played the ball in. There was a few times he even got on the overlap, looked up to play the ball in the box, and there's just no one there. So he's got to pull it back or turn around and come out. So he's in the right places. It's just the other players aren't. Casemiro, I'm not going to lie. I thought it would be a tough one for him, having less than 7 days rest. Only by 1 day. So I'm not going to be too easy on him. I just felt like he needed a bit more of a rest coming into this later stage of the season. It was a bit sloppy at the start of the game. Gave away the ball a few times. Made some good tackles. Got his deliberate foul where he had to, and picked up a yellow. So didn't really do much else apart from that throughout the game as a standout. Couple of great little link-up plays through the midfield with Kobe and Bruno, but did pick up his yellow, like I say. So I'm going to give Casemiro a 6. Kobe Mainu, I thought had a great game. Amazing what happens when you get the announcements you're back in the England squad, whether he got told today or this morning or got told yesterday. I thought he's starting to rise, come back to the Kobe he was when he got into England squad the first time round. Bit more confident on the ball. But second half, I did think he started to tire. That can be lack of minutes, obviously, where he hasn't been playing for the whole season. Let me know what you thought. But there was a few times where he got run off the shoulder. Fortunately, it was given offside, one of them, by Tavernier, where he just can't keep up with deep runners. If they come and have a 20, 30-yard sprint on them, Kobe Mainoo's left behind, literally left for dead. But that's his only flaw, I feel, in his game is his sprint speed. So I'm going to give Kobe a 7. I thought he actually kept the game ticking. Bear in mind, I'm pretty much giving these based off up until the red card, because if that red card doesn't happen, the pen doesn't happen, we walk away with the game. So Cunha, I thought had another superb game, absolutely superb game. The ball he brings down on the chest to break for the goal and to get the penalty. Oh my God, that touch is just absolutely unreal. Right off Coco Cabana Beach, pulls it down nicely on the chest, drops at his feet, drives inside, little flip chop to get between the two players, and that's a pull of the shirt when the shirt actually comes out and you can see the movement like that. That's a pull of a shirt that you do go down for a penalty. But he got the ball, he drove at the player. I wish we kept him driving at Tavernier. We should have just kept giving him the ball. Tavernier's got a bad knee as it is. You will notice if you watch the game back, or if you didn't already, it was heavily strapped up. So yeah, we should have definitely been driving at him more. Evening, Danny. Just having our say on the players quickly, and the absolute shit show of PGMOL refereeing from the VAR box yet again. Yeah, so Cunha, I'm actually going to give him an 8. I thought probably was our best player on the pitch tonight. The way he got the ball, the way he moved the ball, and just kept running with it, driving. He knew he had his player on toast, but we didn't give him enough of it. Ahmad on the right frustrates the hell out of me. The amount of times I thought, he's drifted away, he's pulled the ball down. First half, he was a little bit sloppy, caught under his feet. And then he sort of sorted that out about 20 minutes in, and he's backing the player into the box. He had an absolute power driver for, just ricocheted off of Casemiro. On another night, it hits Casemiro and goes in the open net, but is what it is. But then again, he starts getting down the right, and he turns around and passes back to Dalot. The ball doesn't come in the box. It needs to stop. The ball just needs to come in on his right foot. If he can't cross with his right, just absolutely hammer it across the box. We're not asking for a perfect delivery. We're asking for like chaos. Just throw it across the box and see if someone gets there. Um, when we go into the breakdown tomorrow night, I'll have a lot to say about balls into the box and the fact we seem to be lacking numbers in there. If you saw the preview show, you probably can guess where I'm going to go with that because I think certain things weren't right tonight. So Ahmad, I'm going to give a 6. Like I say, I thought he started poorly, came into the game, but just a lot of wrong decision making. But he done his job defensively, so I think 6 is about fair. Bruno Fernandes tonight. Engine room, running his heart off. At one point, he done so many doggies between players after the sending off. You know, you can't fault this guy's hard work. But after the sending off and he had to play out of position, I'm guessing he got pushed more out towards the left when Cunha went off. The complaining started, you know, and that's not what we needed at the time. You know, you've lost your second person in Harry Maguire, who's your leader on the pitch, as well as Bruno. The arms, the complaining. We can only hope that it doesn't affect the players because it certainly would affect me. You know, let me know in the chat, guys, if it would affect you. But I don't think it's right. His corners today were terrible. They were terrible, set pieces. But he found some good pockets of space. But again, we didn't make those runs in behind. There was a few balls he did try to put in and just no one got there. So I'm going to give Bruno a 7 because I think he worked his arse off. But he did go back into headless chicken mode a couple of times in this game. And whether that's because of the intensity Bournemouth plays at, he sort of brought himself to that kind of intensity as well and then dropped back off. Yeah, it's hit and miss. We need it just to constantly be a hit with Bruno to guarantee that we get this Champions League spot. Don't forget, the draw tonight puts us only 6 points, I believe, ahead of Chelsea. So everyone else is on 4 points Villa, 4 points or 5 points for Liverpool, something like that, without looking at it. But it's not great. And then we'll go with Mbeumo up top. So if you watch the preview show, I said Mbeumo probably deserved the rest in this game. He's been working his arse off, and Sesko had to start so we could stretch the game and play on the counter, sit back, let Bournemouth have the ball. Everything we didn't do. And yeah, it was hard to get Mbeumo in. He's always going to lose the ball to centre-backs in the air. Too many long balls, but didn't go past the centre-backs into the wide corner areas for him or Ahmad to run onto. Cunha wouldn't have got there either because he was tucked in. But I just felt for Mbeumo. He put in a shift. He'd done everything he could do. But it wasn't his night. It was never going to be his night because I thought he started to look tired. So for me, Mbeumo's a 6. Okay. Before we do the subs, Trevor's in here with a quick message. What you got here, Trev? In for the one comment tonight. It's only a quick one anyway, Trev. Don't worry about that. The referee bottled it, and also VAR. The biggest travesty was Sesko on the bench again. Carrick bottled it big time. When he came on, he won everything in the air. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we're just about to get to. So substitutions. Let's see. Who was the first one on? Was obviously Casemiro and went off for Ugarte, and Heaven went off for Cunha. And do you know what? I was just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I get why we had to make those changes because of the sending off. But why have we not brought Sesko on to hold the ball up front? You know? Heaven's come on. Let's be honest. We're going to have to give the guy probably a 5. I think he won one header and he didn't have to make another touch of the ball. Ugarte, pretty much the same. Wasn't on long enough. I'd probably say an honest 5. I know some people mark it up 1-6 when they come on like that. But for me, it's a 5. You've come on, you've done your job. You've seen it out. But then 90 plus 5 and 90 plus 6. Bloody Sesko and Mason Mount. Like, what is the thinking there? We're chasing the game now. I get that, okay, but to take Cunha off and bring on Ugarte, I just didn't get it. Like we needed an outlet up front. So for me, that's got to be Sesko, and we go for it. It's a United way, right? That's what we keep saying about Carrick. He keeps doing it the United way. We go for the win. They've made it 2-2. We're not going to sit back in. Yeah, we're down to 10 men. Sesko comes on. As Trevor's just said there, he's won everything in the air. So what does that mean? We can play long. We can push up. We can get numbers around Sesko. Get the second ball. Get the corners. Get the free kicks. Whatever we need to. Keep driving into the box. But it was too late. And Mason Mount, yes, okay, came on 6 minutes. He needs minutes under his belt. Good to see him back. Because let's be fair, we need extra players on the bench. But you know, Mason Mount is going to have to give him a 5. But I'm going to give Sesko a 6 because when he did come on, he won everything. He worked hard, but he was just off the pace. It's too late in the game, especially for a striker. A striker doesn't want to be coming on in the 90th minute. I can tell you that from experience. You need 20 minutes minimum for them to feel like they can get a goal and they're going to give you something. You know, and that's how I saw it. Danny's just back here. I feel I feel story of our season not taking our chances in the first half. Yeah, it did feel that way, but the keeper pulled off some good saves, didn't he? Petrov definitely was trying his hardest not to let us score in the first half. That one from Bruno's volley at the back post where he just spreads himself, strong leg. You know, on another day that bounces a millimetre higher on his leg and lifts into the top of the net. So, but look at what we're doing. We're throwing the ball in the box when we've got the smaller players on the pitch. Again, I don't get it. It's almost like I can only understand the way we're crossing the ball and putting the ball in the box as Sesko's going, yeah, no, I can't start, boss. You know, when he gets in the changing room. Because otherwise it makes no sense. We're obviously working on getting the ball wide, getting the ball in the box. But I'm not seeing Mbumo winning headers against 6'5" centre backs when he's about 5'5". It makes no sense. And for that reason, Michael Carrick tonight, I'm sorry, it's a 4 out of 10. I thought he got it drastically wrong. I think he started with the wrong 11. I think Mbumo should have been on the bench, Sesko up front, and we stretched the pitch. And I said in the preview, we let them have the ball, and then we play long into Sesko when we win it back as an out ball because they press so high. They press with a front 5. We can go long to Sesko, and we've got the pace in Ahmad and Cunha. And when one of them tires, you bring Mbumo on for half an hour with fresh legs because he's had a bit more of a thing, and you can put him on left or right, whoever's needed, and he can run in behind, offer the flicks, you know. And it was even another game where you could have stick 2 up front with Xerxes and Sesko to occupy their centre backs and play long into them because they press in 5s and 6s. It's a very high press, very intense press, and the only way out is 9 times out of 10 was back to the keeper and go long. So for me, Michael Carrick 4. Guys, that's it for the scorecard. I'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Okay, be there. Come have your say about what we did and didn't get right. You know, there will be a section on PGMOL because you've all said it in the chat, those who have joined already live tonight. But come have your say, 9 o'clock, and I will see you there on United Lens as we do the review of, let's be fair, another absolute shit show from PGMOL. See you later, guys.